One of the great things about a camper van is you can take that thing anywhere, you can drive it nearly anywhere, you can park it nearly anywhere. The problem is sometimes campsites are really hard to find, or those special spots are even more tough, and even worse, they're filled with people these days. I have a solution for you. How about if I give you 6,200 campsites, access to that for less than $225 annually, and it takes you to amazing places that you would probably never visit anyway. What am I talking about? Stay tuned. Howdy. Hey, if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the Campervan Class B RV travel experience. We take you to cool places, we give you van tours, and we give you van products that help your RVing experience become better, whether you are no time still researching, part-time just taking cool trips, or even being a crazy like me, living full-time in my camper van for over 3 years now. What you're about to see is a segment from my What's Up Wednesday weekly YouTube live show. I cover in great detail, including demos, on why Harvest Host is a great program, tremendous value, and how Boondockers Welcome can actually be very, very free. It's a great program that takes RVers places they wouldn't go. To me, that's the biggest value and can save you a boatload of money. Let's jump into the What's Up Wednesday segment around Harvest Host based on a viewer question. Let's go. And the topic tonight comes out of a viewer question. Let me zoom in here for you so you can see this. This is Dorothy. I was a little tardy getting back to her, but Dorothy wants to know, is Harvest Host for all our RVers? Is there a cost for overnight camping, or is it free? That is a beautiful question, and I am going to go into this in great detail, including we're going to give a demo on what this what Harvest Host is about. I think some people have some misconceptions about it, and I did a poll earlier today. Let me show you this, and I'll zoom in here so you can read this. So we had about 39 votes as of just a little bit ago. Do you have a Harvest Host Boondocker Welcome membership? Many of you do, which is great. Some don't see the value in. Many plan to get one when they get their RV. A few want to know what is a Harvest Host Boondocker Welcome, and many want to learn more about it. So if that is you, you are in the right place tonight, and I got some really cool stuff to show you, including a live demo, what I see from my vantage point as a member. I've been a member since 2018, and it's just one of the greatest things ever. So let me kind of tip you off where that thumbnail came from. This is the Texas Air Museum in San Antonio, Texas, and that was my parking spot for the night. That's the next morning. But that image you saw earlier, whoops, let me zoom here so you can see this. And it's just got, that big building is full of all kind of military, generally aviation memorabilia. That was my view out of my cab the entire stay during the night. And this is one of the big reasons I love Harvest Hosts, because I get to see things I would never see any other way, and I get to go places I probably wouldn't go. To me, that's really the two biggest reasons that it's such a huge value to my RVing experience. Let me roll forward a couple more pictures for you. Right across the street, literally from the municipal airport, which is Stinson Field, is the San Antonio Sheriff's Office. And this is one of the, they have two of them that are on call, and this is one of the sheriff choppers lifting off. And so all day and throughout the night, I got to see this really amazing, whoops, whoa, what's going on? This chopper going in and out of the airfield, and it was just so cool to see them land, do their little thing, rest for an hour, then take off again, keep going to keep us safe. And it was just really, really cool. To me, was there noise? Yeah, a little bit of noise, but not really. And again, why is Harvest Host so cool, in my opinion, is because of this. This was my first visit there. My van was still silver. I had both of my original bikes. That's the image on the left. The image on the right, I went to go explore the Stinson Field airfield, and there was a helicopter company that would teach you how to fly a helicopter in an afternoon for $260 back then. It was 2019, and I signed up for the next day. Unfortunately, weather prevented me from actually doing it. I had to leave that afternoon. But this, again, I would never have had the opportunity to fly a helicopter. We went back, and we couldn't make it work this time either when I was there a few weeks ago, well, a few months ago now. But to me, that's really the value add of Harvest Host. Takes me places I wouldn't go to go see and do things I wouldn't probably do. And to me, that's what the RVing experience is all about. It's kind of not sitting in RV parks, and it's not, yeah, you get my point. Okay, let me roll forward. Let me share some information with you. And I think this is going to help you a lot. So let me zoom in here. This is from their websites as of today. So there's kind of two programs. One is Harvest Hosts, plural, and it's RV camping, about 3,200 wineries, breweries, farms, attractions that RVs can stay at overnight with no camping fees. And that is 100% accurate. Now, if we look at what that might look like from a nationwide basis, they have some spots in Canada now, which I'm excited about because I'm headed into Canada this year. It's pretty full. The biggest Harvest Host drought desert was when I was in California along the coast, but inland, where all the wineries are, that's where a lot of those programs were there. So let me show you the price on this. This will give you a little sense of what the pricing is. There's two programs. One is Classic, it's $100 a year, and one is $139 a year, and this includes golf courses. So you can see to the left there, you've got wineries, breweries, farms, museums, and other attractions, and then golf courses. And I think this is kind of the magic thing of the program for those of us that are in urban or suburban environments, because there may not be a winery, there may not be a farm, might be a point of interest. I stayed at a Walt's Brake Shop just a couple of weeks, well, last week actually, which is kind of cool, in center of Florida by Orlando. So they're really kind of rolling those out. But again, what this does, it gives you lots of options. So Harvest Hosts, the key here is you're on commercial property. You are a business, staying at a business, and they kind of expect you to buy some of their goods and services. So while it is free to stay, there is definitely an expectation to come to the business and spend a few dollars. For me, you know, it's a burger and a beer, no problem. Bottle of wine, okay. Distilleries, that's awesome. Golf courses I like because they're quiet. There is Wi-Fi. There's usually a 19th hole bar and grill. People always chat me up. They're like, "Who? You're not a member. What are you doing here? You got the cool van out there?" Yep, that's me. And that's how I like to roll on that. So that's Harvest Hosts. Commercial property. They expect you to spend a few dollars. Okay. Next, we want to show you is Boondockers Welcome. Let me zoom in here for you. Boondockers Welcome is a program that was a separate company that was bought by Harvest Hosts just last year. The big difference is Boondockers Welcome is on private property. And private property, they don't expect you to pay anything unless you're using some of their water, maybe some electricity, but you don't have to pay. You're not buying anything from them other than those services that they may or may not offer. And the commercial properties, I don't think I've ever been offered an RV service. Water, sewer, certainly, electric, because it's commercial. You're in a parking lot, generally. Let me roll forward one here for you. And this is the cost of the Boondockers Welcome. It's $50 a year, and you kind of lock that price in. And there is nearly 3,000 of the Boondocker Welcome sites, which is pretty great. Now, the small text box below that, I just got this email this week. Prices are going up for Boondocker Welcome. It's now $79 a year starting in May. So what I would recommend doing is getting your membership, because it locks in your price for the life of your membership. That's what they've been saying for a number of years now. And that's pretty cool. So I made a little chart for you here. So let's look at this. I'll give you some more examples. We'll do a demo. So here's the way it rolls. There is a cost, again, to access the database. Harvest Host is $99 a year. Add the golf package for $40. Boondocker Welcome currently is $50, so an annual total of $189. After May 1, Boondocker Welcome goes up $29, so your annual total is $218. And let me assure you, that will be a very inexpensive way. Even if you add in a $20 or $30 bar tab or something of that nature, it will still be a very inexpensive night stay. Certainly if you're maximizing the Boondocker Welcome private property. What's also cool about the Boondocker Welcome is you can stay, some places are letting you stay 3 to 5 nights on the same place. So if you want to explore an area for a few days, that is a really great way to roll. Explore during the day, and then at night, return to home base, Boondocker Welcome, and then you can really examine the area thoroughly before you move out of the area. Harvest host, commercial property, 1 night. Sometimes I've gotten away with a golf course. I ask for permission, and some of the restaurants occasionally, but generally it's 1 night, and that's a big difference there. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm curious if you have a Harvest Host Boondocker Welcome membership. It's one app now, which is great, and that's what I want to demonstrate for you here, I think, in just a minute. Let me roll forward. Sorry to interrupt your program, but if you're getting anything out of this, give it a thumb up. Sure appreciate that. Comment below, is this kind of a program something you're interested in? And subscribe to the channel if you are into campervan tours, campervan products, and campervan places, like some of these cool Harvest Host sites. Back to our program. Let me just show you a couple examples here, because what I like about both programs is it takes me places I wouldn't go. So this is rural Kentucky, Hopkinsville, I think it was, Hopkinsville, something like that. It was a distillery, amazing spirits, whiskey, bourbon in particular. Again, very rural environment. Urban environment. This is a brew pub across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. It was a brew pub. It was really great. That was my original van cat, Luke. I backed up, and that was my view, was an old vintage tow truck. I don't like to cover all my windows, and that night I didn't have to because that was my view with some artwork out the window. This is in a suburban environment. This was a golf course. They had this really cool violet light above the van that was, for some reason, it was the only light there, so I just parked under it because it looked super cool, and I was bathed in this violet light all night long. I just loved it. In a suburban environment in the larger Tampa area. This one is rural. This is a Harvest, or a Boondocker Welcome. This was a gal out near Traverse City. Rural, again, parking, so I have lots of privacy. I'm looking at vegetation. It's really, really lovely. This is Boondocker Welcome. This again is suburban. This was a golf course in Idaho, and one of the downsides to this, and the only real downside is, see the other RV there in the parking lot? Sometimes they don't have lithium and they are running their generator. And what I've found lately is a lot of these are saying no to generators past a certain PM. So a lot of them are saying no generators after 9 or 10 PM. So if it's hot outside, you do not have access to air conditioning, because there is no shore power. You have to be fully self-contained. And I'm kind of glad they're laying down the law, because generators are so obnoxious when they're just droning on. And I paid the investment to have lithium, so I operate my AC in complete silence. That's going to irritate some of you, I know. So sorry. Suburban, hey, if you got a friend or two, a lot of these have multiple spaces for 1 night. This is beyond intention in their Travato GL, just like mine. Constitution's the name of theirs. We went to Keel Farms outside of Tampa, and we stayed the night. We enjoyed some of the winery. So if you're kind of traveling with some folks, you can both book the same place, because a lot of them have more than one spot. The commercial properties, Boondocker Welcome, at least at one spot, but the commercial properties generally have up to 2 sites, which is really great. Demo coming up next. This is Tiny Town. Let me zoom in here for you. Again, one of the reasons I think it's the greatest RV program is it takes you to places you wouldn't go. This is Potosi, Wisconsin. Yeah, where is that? It's in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, kind of, I don't know, quite a way south of Madison. And they put out some really good beer, and they let you stay in the lot. I think there's a couple spots, and this is the inside of the bar. And I just had such a great time. Really good Wi-Fi. There was no cell coverage because you're in this huge valley. But Potosi, Wisconsin, no way on earth I'd ever go there. Super cute little town. To me, it's the biggest reason why I like Harvest Host, is because it takes me places I wouldn't go, to experience things which I should be experiencing as a and certainly as a van RVer. All right, let me give you a demo here. Let me switch screens quickly. One moment, please. Oh man, I love this new setup. This is so juicy. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is their website, harvesthosts.com, and you can see there on the right side of the screen. I'm going to talk you through this. Let's get this just a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah. I'm going to type in a location in the under location in the box right. I'm going to do it up here. The screen's really tiny. Oops, I got one here. So I'm going to type in Tampa, Florida. Tampa. And it kind of gives me some suggestions here. So there we go. Now it's going to zoom in. Say, hey, do you want to allow? Yes, allow. That's fine. So these are all the harvest hosts near the Tampa area. You can see the blue dots, right? And this list of them here on the left-hand side are those harvest host and Boondocker Welcome sites. So if you see rolling in, that's a house. That's going to be a Boondocker Welcome site. I'm not going to bring them up because that is a private residence. We do not want to share their address on YouTube. But this one down below, I mentioned Keel Farms. This is a commercial property. And what I want to do is right from here, many of them now are accepting online reservations, which is super awesome. I'm going to click this. This is not really great user interface. What they should show is a whole month, not a week at a time. So to show you what a whole month looks like, I'm going to click their name. It's going to bring me to a new tab, and it gives you a little bit more information here, right? Hours, how many parking spaces are. You can see that you have 2 spaces, which is awesome. Maximum nights, 1. You can see that right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select dates, and you can see how booked out these folks are. And this is, I guess, a great problem, is that Boondocker Welcome and Harvest Hosts are getting really, really busy. And this is why you need to plan ahead a bit. They've got just a few dates in March. Today's only, what, the 9th or something like that? And even the first half of April. If we go out another couple months, it's looking up a little more open now. But my recommendation now is to actually start booking your dates. I'm going to show you a route planning tool in just a second, because this is becoming more and more what I'm seeing is that if I'm trying to stay someplace in the next couple days and there's only a few places in the area, I'm street camping, which is okay. We do that. Let me show you one of the coolest things that I am going to be using extensively, and that is the, zoom back out, which is the route planning tool. I'm curious if you've seen this before. I think this is just one of the greatest things. I'm going to go back a page, see if I can bring this back up. Bear with me. So here it says route. You see the blue word there? So now it gives me a start and a stop. Let's say I am leaving Miami, Florida, and I'm headed to Savannah. Hope I can spell this right. Savannah, Georgia, right there. And then I'm going to say add destinations. So right away you can see that it's plotted my course. Here are all the commercial Harvest Host and private Zach's host location, Boondocker Welcome locations that I can stay at. So I'm just kind of curious. Let's look at this. Here's a brewing company here. Let's see what pops up here. So this is in Georgia. Again, you get 1 week at a glance here. Maximum 1 night, maximum size, not a problem in a van. I'm going to click this just so it goes into full screen mode here and gives you some pictures. There's reviews generally. This person has 7 spots. You see that right here? So this brewing company has 7 spots, which let's hope we have some dates available, and they do in pretty good order. So this makes me really happy when I'm trying to plot a route, route planning, plot a trajectory to see what the deal is. And because I am a member, I see the address right away. If you're not a member, you won't see any of these addresses. Again, that's what the magic of the database is. So I think it's just one of the coolest programs for RVers. And I really think if you have a van in particular and you're not taking advantage of this program, if you're not into booze, totally fine. There are hundreds and thousands of other options for you. You don't have to like the booze to be involved with these guys. I think it's just the best program. Gives you options. The way I'm rolling these days, so even though I'm at home base the last 3 weeks, really the last month and a half, even since the Super Show, I harvest host Boondocker Welcome 3 to 5 nights a week, and then I do a KOA campground or similar RV park campground where I can empty my tanks, waste tank duty, I fill my fresh water, I do my laundry, I get everything cleaned out of the van, get a good sweep, and then I keep rolling forward, making reservations. And for me, this saves me a ton of money, and it gives me options that I wouldn't really have. I'm more of an urban cowboy, not running up into the mountains. That's the way I roll. So I hope that was helpful. Let me give you one more really extreme example here, because I think it is just so important to understand the value of this and the experiences you will have at a harvest host. Let me show you. Whoops. Let me show you the other screen. One moment, please. Share screen is this one. Here we go. So this is an extreme example, and that's on purpose. So this is a harvest host in southern Indiana. It's a winery. I pulled in, and I'm at the edge of the parking lot, and I thought this is going to be a great vantage point for the night. I walked up to the restaurant, and a lot of these have really cool restaurants. And what I try and do is, again, take advantage of the business. And I didn't necessarily want to buy a bottle of wine, but let's eat something I wouldn't be able to make in the van really easily. And that's what I did. I had a really nice piece of fish. And what I learned by chatting them up is I got personally escorted into the, are you ready for it? The vineyard. I literally parked in the vineyard. I couldn't believe it. My cat couldn't believe it either. Luke was like, what is this? And this was the daytime version, but what was super special, boys and girls, was this. A full moon. A full moon rising over a vineyard. Here's a shot of my van with the full moon coming up over the horizon. I did break down and buy a bottle of wine. What can I say? And I'm telling you, until you've enjoyed a bottle of wine made on site, talking to the staff, enjoying their food, enjoying a full moon, tasting the wine or the beverage or the produce of the day, to me, this is what van life is all about. And if you got your spouse with you or your pets, life really couldn't get any better. And it's just the most amazing experience. That's why I crow about harvest hosts. So here's the deal. If you're interested in harvest hosts and you're getting your van within the next couple months, lock in your price now. Harvest hosts went up a few months ago. Boondocker Welcome is going from $50 to $79. If you go to my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com, click on the more, there's essential memberships. It's right there. You save 15% off. And if you sign up now, you're going to lock in the $50 for the lifetime of your membership on Boondocker Welcome, which is pretty awesome. So hope you enjoyed that. Again, I would recommend this to every RVer. And if you're running off into the woods and this makes no sense to you, totally get it. But I'd say the 2/3 that are doing things more like my style, friends, family, urban, suburban, looking at history, tiny towns. I think the joy you will find is that these things, harvest hosts and Boondocker Welcome places, not only do you meet cool people, which is one of the biggest reasons I love the RV, is you go to places you wouldn't normally go to. And to me, that's the whole thing. Hope you enjoyed that video. Really enjoyed making it for you. And I encourage you to join us every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central for our Q&A live, containing content, guests on What's Up Wednesday to help you be a better RVer. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate that. Until we see you again, journey on. Bye-bye.